So the question I got is how to do the limit definition of a derivative for something that looks like this. F of x equals 7 over x minus 5. This actually just requires some fraction skills, so it's not too bad. We're going to go with the standard limit definition of a derivative. So as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x over h. All right, so when we set it up, we just have to remember that f of x is 7 over x minus 5. So x plus h is just putting x plus h where the x is. So when we set it up initially, this is what we get. And this is very similar to something we saw in pre-cal with complex fractions. So we just have to think about our fraction rules about, well, how do we simplify this down. And so I'm going to multiply by a common denominator. And I'm going to pick x plus h minus 5 and x minus 5. So I'm literally just going to multiply that fraction and that fraction. So I'm really not changing anything as far as mathematically goes, because this is just 1 times 1. But that will eliminate the fraction in the numerator for us. So in the denominator, when I distribute, I just get h times the other stuff. But in the numerator, that's where the fraction actually disappears on me. So let me kind of show you for just a brief second. This is going to look a little ugly, but it'll make sense once I divide things out. So again, like I said, in the denominator, there we go, just brought it over. And I multiplied each fraction by that whole thing. Well, what do you notice about x plus h minus 5? So that piece is going to divide out. And over here, the x minus 5s are going to divide out. And so when I reduce down my fractions and dividing out those common things that can divide out, I'm left with something that looks like this. And this I can distribute, and a lot of my things are going to cancel out. So actually when 7 times x is 7x, 7 times negative 5 is negative 35, and then same thing here, 7 times x is negative 7x, negative 7 times h is negative 7h, and negative 7 times negative 5 is positive 35. And as you look at these terms, a lot of it's going to go away. So the 7x's are gone, the 35's are gone, and the only thing I'm left with is negative 7h. And at that point, hopefully you notice that the h's can divide out. And so our limit statement now looks like this. And I can evaluate this as h approaches 0, not x, but h. So I'm going to replace that h with a 0. And of course x plus 0, that doesn't do anything. So I'm really left with x minus 5, but there's 2 of those. So my final answer, if I can get this to get on the screen there. Oops, let me get it back. My final answer is negative 7 over x minus 5 squared.